Well, hopefully, it's pretty. They add quite a compelling new aspect to us. They diversify our portfolio. And we had before yesterday we had one, albeit one very good asset in the region. We've now got three.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Sunda Energy CEO Andy Butler. Andy, very good to speak with you. Now that they've been awarded, can you say more about why you're so excited about these new assets?
Yes, Steve, thank you very much. And well, as you know, firstly, I like to speak to you after we've had some decent news out there. So I wasn't able to do so yesterday. I was traveling back from the Philippines. Very big day in the Philippines yesterday. Number of new awards out there, and two very important awards to ourselves. Why are we so excited about them? It really, they are very. These are really world-class blocks that we've picked up. But let's just step back a little bit. First of all, we're excited to be back in the Philippines. It's a country that we know well, where we've done business in the past as a team with great relationships, and it's a country that is very, very vibrant, but with a large population, a rapidly growing economy, more than 100 million people. And a real reliance on imported energy. The growing energy situation is quite critical for them. If you look, for example, at the presentation we put on the website yesterday, you'll see the government's own chart on gas demand growth, and indeed the president's speech yesterday, which you probably find online. And he spoke very strongly on these points about how much they need inward investment to come in. So a long-winded way of saying we're very welcome there, and it's a government who are very aligned with what needs to be achieved, and who offer very good fiscal terms for companies looking to develop gas opportunities like ourselves. But the specifics of the blocks, as I mentioned, we do have a lot of experience in this area. It's a very exciting. It's a very large area with a number of opportunities within it, a number of discoveries that have been made, and indeed, myself and my team were involved in some of those discoveries previously. So we have very good understanding of the geology of it. And as per our announcement yesterday, there are huge prospective resources there, 10 TCF of gas prospects that we see on existing work, in addition to the discoveries that have been made. So blocks are great, really world class. But also, if you step back a little bit, look at it kind of regionally, around the island of Borneo, a large island, there is a huge amount of gas resource that has been discovered, developed in deep water, particularly in recent times, and a lot of very large players who are taking very significant interest in plays around it. So you look to the west of us in Malaysia and Brunei in deep water. Big discoveries being made. Total made a very important discovery recently. You see that INPEX farmed into the Seascape block and offering a full carry there, which is a very good deal. You see that on the Indonesian side, ENI, the Italian giant, is making some very large discoveries. You see them lining up with Petronas, the Malaysian national oil company, to pursue deep water opportunities around the island of Borneo. And indeed, there's deep water study groups that involve BP and INPEX and Total and others. So it's a real industry focus on this area. The Philippines piece has been largely unexplored, but it's exactly the same fairway. And we see a lot of interest from industry already in terms of what we're trying to do there and the opportunities. So for us, it's a great entry into an area where we think there's going to be a lot of interest in moving forward.
Andy, how does Sunda view the risk-reward profile of these blocks?
Good question. Well, it sort of perhaps follows on from what I was just saying. And in that area around Borneo, there's been hundreds of wells drilled in deep water. Something like 50% of them have found hydrocarbons, principally gas, and a lot of that gas has been developed. Probably it's something like 100 trillion cubic feet of gas between the Malaysian side and the Indonesian and Brunei. So if you look at the fairway we've picked up, and it is an entire fairway from slope through shallow to deep water, there's only 4 wells drilled in deep water. 3 of them have found gas, 2 of them pretty sizable gas as fields. So we see them as pretty low risk in a trend that really works out. On top of that, there's a significant amount of data that exists there already. Seismic data, particularly extensive 3D seismic data as well as the additional wells. We get all of that data for free. The discoveries that are there, obviously included in all of that. And so that gives you the tools also, using modern technology, using our expertise to really further de-risk those opportunities and outline them, illustrate the scale, and again bring large parties to the table to help ultimately get these things drilled up. And just to be clear, obviously this is a lot of the interest is in deep water. It's an area where we have a lot of expertise to deploy, but ultimately where we wouldn't be drilling ourselves. There's no commitment to drill in the short term, but more particularly, actually, it's a big boys' game to drill deep water wells, and there's big money involved. But we'd be looking for farming to enable those things to happen.
How do the terms of the joint venture and fiscal regime make this an attractive opportunity for Sunda?
Well, I think actually the terms are good in the Philippines. It's not just for Sunda, for industry, of course. I mean, they're already probably some of the most attractive terms in the region, partly because it's a little bit off the beaten track, unlike Malaysia, Indonesia, elsewhere, where there are a lot more fields already in production. The government's had to do quite a lot to attract inward investment in this space. And so the terms are very good. On top of that, just in the last few weeks, the government has announced new incentives that cover development of indigenous gas, that cover deep water, that cover new plays, frontier areas, and frankly, all of those things apply to the blocks that we've just secured. So actually, the terms in the area where we're going to be exploring are fabulous, really very good.
Andy, what does the award of these cheap 2 new blocks in the Philippines mean for Sunda's investment case?
Well, hopefully, it's pretty. They add quite a compelling new aspect to us. They diversify our portfolio. And we had before yesterday we had one, albeit one very good asset in the region. We've now got 3, 2 of them contiguous. But also, as I say, there's a lot of prospective value in there. Actually, I noticed just a couple of hours ago, Allenby put out a research note attributing, I think, £42 million worth of value to it, risked today on the basis of what's known already. That's about 0.14% pence per share. So, there's some tangible value there already. In terms of sort of news flow and taking it forward, we see a lot of things happening pretty quickly with these blocks. As I say, we can hit the ground running with the existing data that's there. We will be making progress with that. We'll, of course, bring updates to the market in terms of our progress there. But I think we'd be looking also to bring in large players pretty quickly to assist us with accelerating the exploration program. As I say, right around this trend, there's a lot of activity and a lot of desire to bring gas forward to development market. So hopefully that adds quite a lot more to the story. It illustrates our moving forward with a broader portfolio in the way that we said we would do.
I mean, can you maybe update us on progress with the Chadich project?
Yes, of course. So as sort of described recently, we continue to progress towards the revised plan to drill in Q2 of next year, Q2 2026. So we've been making progress in terms of identifying drilling rigs, working towards that, discussions with drilling contractors. The issue around helicopters is resolved. The environmental permitting and other permitting is required continues to progress. So not a lot of kind of recent news flow on it, but we are continuing to steadily progress. And obviously it remains our key asset, our main focus, and the team are working hard to take that forward. And that includes also on the funding side as well, of course. We continue to maintain discussions and work towards having everything in place for the timeline I just mentioned.
And I hope you'll keep us updated on progress on both of those fronts. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Thank you, Stephen. Pleasure as always.
Andy Butler, the CEO of Sunda Energy.